Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special edition of the Knothole Gang, where we're going to look at some aerial photos that were provided by MiceChat in a recent article. And these photos MiceChat got from NearMap. And thank goodness for NearMap while we're on the topic, because these are some of the best aerial footage or photos that I have seen from either coast since this project started. So this is going to be a lot of fun looking at these photos, and they're current. This is about, I'm going to guess, about 2 weeks ago that these photos were taken. So we're going to get some pretty live looks, maybe 3 weeks ago, but we're going to get some pretty live looks at how Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge, looks at Disneyland today. And we're going to start with this full width, sort of long view of Star Wars Land from, I guess, what is that, from the south? We've got about 9 photos to show you, and it's an embarrassment of riches. It's almost too much to take in in one video. It's gonna be difficult to process all this. We're probably not gonna catch everything, but I'm gonna show you what I see, and then you guys can tell me what you see. So we'll start with the very next photo, and that is a close-up of Battle Escape. And first things first, we'll notice all that meshwork being done on the front of the building. That's what we see from Mark Twain, is that meshwork. We kind of see the tops of that from Mickey and Friends parking structure. Now this section right here, I'm kind of curious about this, because I want to call that the Super Collider, but it feels like it was inside the building, or maybe it's just that entrance area that we're seeing inside the building. Maybe I'll find some old footage and we can kind of do a comparison. But is that the Collider right there? That it has to be, right? That has to be it. And is that an entrance right there to that section? It is our belief, it is our guess, our hypothesis that is sort of the end of the queue. That building on the left right there is the actual queue that people walk through for an hour and a half or however long it's going to take, that you're walking through with all the little, thematic elements, throughout. And then you enter that building, and I believe that is where you kind of sort of board your vehicles and get ready to enter the Battle Escape building proper. Having said that, if that is the case, then it's really exposed. And I have to believe that the entrance is probably more like there, right? Because it's not exposed. And by exposed, I mean it's not open. You can't just walk out there and then, from an enclosed queue into, so that opening has got to be, that's got to be similar to the opening that we're seeing on the backside of Battle Escape, Darth Vader's window, where they can bring in materials in and out of that particular building. Because I have to believe that the way you enter that section is right at the very tip of where the queue meets the Battle Escape building. Now we'll get a little closer up to the Battle Escape, to the queue actually, and this is that queue that we've been watching them build from Mickey and Friends. That at first we thought it was going to be on top, but no, it's actually a tunnel. And there's going to be, eventually, there will be a mountain over the top of all that that guests will be traveling through. Couple of things to note here. I would say that left area, the area to the left of the guest queue, you're not seeing any work being done there, because my guess is that's potential berm. That's going to be that's just going to be dirt. They're going to fill that up with dirt or something like that. They're going to build mountain there. So not a whole lot to be putting there. That's just unused space, or maybe it could be like for admin, I'm not sure, but there's not a lot happening there, and that's just potential berm. And the same thing for the top of that building, I think, too. And by the way, here's a look. I think best guess, this is where it is if you look at the model, this section right here is this part of the model right there. That's where guests are going to enter. That little dark tunnel right there is where guests will enter. And then another thing that's kind of curious, if you zoom into this queue, what is this little divider that they're building here? It almost feels like, well, I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if that's for guest experience or not, but it's just a strange annex to the queue. But it does look like sort of an entrance-exit type scenario into that building. But for what purpose? If it's for guest or if it's for cast, I'm not sure. Okay, next photo is a close-up of the Millennium Falcon building, and this is just beautiful. And I say that because this is the most luxurious look that we've had at this building ever. We only get to see the roof from Mickey and Friends. We can't see anything from the ground from Big Thunder Trail. So this is really, really great. And we got a pretty good idea of what this might look like from those photos that we saw at that were provided from Disney World, Magic Kingdom, or I should say from Hollywood Studios, the Galaxy's Edge being built there when they did that panel for Galactic Nights. They gave us some pretty good photos there. This is the best we've seen of our structure in our progress. And that's a lot of progress right there. And I say that because the last time that we saw anything from this land, it was mostly dirt. There was the beginning of the building being constructed, the Millennium Falcon building, and we saw those two. Well, remember the Fox 10 photo we got? There was those two Millennium Falcon attraction, the actual attraction areas being constructed. Those are gone now. They're underneath that building. But as I understand it, there are now 4 of those, and they're all inside that glorious, enormous structure. Now, we can also compare this favorably, I think, to the concept art, which we'll toggle here. And then you can kind of see this is the long view of the concept art, the top of the curved entrance where the Millennium Falcon is. And that domed structure in front of the Millennium Falcon is the one just here, the one that building right there that's just out of frame or just getting out of frame. And then we've also got this closer up shot of the Millennium Falcon area. A lot of open space there for guests to walk around in and to soak in the atmosphere between the Millennium Falcon show building and the marketplace, which we're going to see here in a minute, that they're building right there below it. And then, above the Millennium Falcon building, again, mountains, trees, and that's it. So it looks like there's a lot of business going on up there, but we're not going to get to see any of that except for the opening. And I heard a rumor, by the way, that guests not only will be entering, the Millennium Falcon will be there in that curved section there. That's not only the entrance, but the guests will be walking into and through the Millennium Falcon that's out there exposed. You'll walk into the Millennium Falcon vehicle, and then it's like the Haunted Mansion. You go into the elevator room or the stretching room, and you think that's it, and then but lo and behold, there's an entire building behind it that you're actually going to go have your show in, and that's what this is. It's just like the Haunted Mansion in that sense. You're going to walk into the Millennium Falcon, and you're going to be in the Millennium Falcon for the entirety of your show, but it's actually that enormous building, which is just fantastic. All right, let's go to the next photo, and this here's another aerial view of the Millennium Falcon building, but from the opposite side, kind of hovering over Battle Escape, as it were, and you're facing east, looking east towards Millennium Falcon. And again, you can spot the curved entrance there for where the Millennium Falcon will be. There's the peaks, and there is the marketplace. Now, we mentioned before that there was that sort of open area where guests can kind of walk around and soak in the atmosphere, and that's this whole section right here. I'm curious to find out how they fill that space, or if they will at all. When you look at the concept art, you can see there is that sort of, it's just pretty wide open right there. And I don't know, what are they going to do there? Are they going to do like streetmosphere type stuff? Acts, live cast members, or I don't know, Galaxy's Edge inhabitants, citizens of Galaxy's Edge. Will they be there interacting with guests? That'd be pretty great if they were. Okay, so here's another view from behind the Millennium Falcon. This is facing south. We're looking south, and there you can see the peaks in the middle of the frame. And just to the right of that is that curved entrance. Top middle of the frame is the marketplace. And over here on the left, which is something that I don't know if I've noticed this before. I don't remember if we filmed and build it or not, but there's a second admin building there. I'm not sure what we debated a long time ago about what those were for and if they were, temporary or not. That was supposed to be, is that supposed to be the expansion area? Not sure, but they built a second one there. Like I said, I don't remember if we watched them build it or not, but I don't remember seeing it. We can't see that other building from the parking structure. It is completely obscured by the Battle Escape and Millennium Falcon buildings. But yeah, this gives us another idea, another relationship of the marketplace to the Millennium Falcon. It's funny, when they talk about the role-playing elements of this land, a lot of it has to do with your relationship with the Millennium Falcon attraction, in so much as that is the attraction that appears to be most closely related to the marketplace, most intimate with the marketplace, whereas the Battle Escape side feels almost sequestered. Again, when you look at concept art or the model, all of that stuff that we're seeing for Battle Escape is just mountain. This is a huge, enormous piece of property, but only, what, a third of it is exposed? The rest of it is completely obscured by mountains and trees and stuff, which is interesting. Upon reflection, as you look at this, you see so much going on here, but so little of that. I don't know if little is the right word, but that's it right there. The Star Wars land as viewed by guests on the ground with their eyes. That's what you're seeing right there. Is that section? That's about a third of the total property. The marketplace and the area around the Millennium Falcon building, and then the walkable areas between Battle Escape and the marketplace, and Millennium Falcon and the marketplace, which is kind of interesting. Still big, but it just seems like it's bigger. But the Battle Escape building, the Millennium Falcon buildings themselves take up such a large percentage of the real estate. It's kind of interesting. Now, before we go to the next photo, let's do a little flashback. Actually, see that wall right here? That's one of the very first things we ever saw them build, was that wall. We called it that. That was the very first fort, if I recall. Let's go back and look at that. Just how far we've come between that. This is taken from the Mickey and Friends parking structure, so the angle's different, but you can get the idea. Just what's happened in the space between. We've gone from just that. That was the first thing that they constructed. That whole section there, and now we've got all these buildings, and we're not even done. We're not even halfway maybe? I don't know. Man, impressive. All right, next slide or next image. This is a very long view of the marketplace, and what we're going to do here is try to locate the entrances from Frontierland. There are two tunnels. The one tunnel where Frontierland meets Fantasyland. There's that tunnel right there. You can see the path. That's as you walk down that path right there. And when you're on the path, you'll turn left. From here, you're turning right. And then you'll walk through a tunnel underneath the train, and you'll come out where that white structure is right here. That is your entrance to Galaxy's Edge from the Fantasyland / Frontierland tunnel. And that's quite a reveal. That whole marketplace. That's kind of the look that we get from this piece of concept art 100 years ago. That's what you'll be seeing as you come out of that tunnel. Pretty great. And then here's the other tunnel coming from Big Thunder Trail by Big Thunder Mountain. This is where we shoot some of our video. And this reveal is a little less sexy, I think. I'm not sure. You are still being sort of entered into the marketplace, but it doesn't, for some reason, the perspective to me doesn't look quite as great as it does from the Fantasyland side. But still, that is the entrance. That is the entrance from the Big Thunder Trail, the Big Thunder portion of Big Thunder Trail. And then finally, another flashback. That right there, that wide section right there. Remember how crazy we were over that? That's Phantasmic Storage. Remember? Do you guys remember talking about that nonstop? About Phantasmic Storage and where it's going to be and how it fits with the rest of the, what the rest of the land, and the river. Well, there you go. That's the Phantasmic Storage. That was some crazy stuff we watched them build a long while back, and it's up and running now. That whole storage area is functioning. And then here's a view of the market from the south facing north. It doesn't look quite as impressive from here than it does from, if we toggle back to the other photo, it looks like a lot busier, a lot more going on in this photo. Here it looks a little more plain, but that's because we're not seeing the reference, I think, from Millennium Falcon and the Battle Escape building. And then we'll end with this last shot facing west, from the east, looking west, Millennium Falcon on the right, Marketplace on the left, and then Battle Escape just out of frame at the top. We pretty much covered everything that we can see here, but you can this is probably one of the most complete views of the areas that we can't see from Mickey and Friends. Well, we can't see much of anything, but I'm curious what that yellow section is. They're getting ready for something, it looks like, but it's not Marketplace. All right. If you look at the concept art, it's not Marketplace. Best as I can tell, again, based on those domes that are being built, the best that I can tell is it's that area right there, and maybe that dome is that round section. That's at the end, Maybe that's, the tip of that little area. I don't know what that is. If it's not Q, I don't know what that is. I'd be curious to find out what they're doing there. But it does look different from, it's not Marketplace, and it's not a Q. What could it be? Fresh Baked, I'd be curious to find out what your impressions are of that yellow area right there. And with that, we'll go back to the long view of the total view of the Galaxy's Edge land, and say thank you to NearMap and MiceChat for these images. These are the best that we've seen to date so far. Best stuff we've seen so far. Most detail, the most progress that we've seen. It's pretty fantastic. I wish we could get more of this. I wish we could get more and closer down there. Gosh, wouldn't that be great? But Fresh Baked, I am curious. As I mentioned, what do you see? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What are your impressions of this land as you see it? What do you predict for the future of this land? But thanks for watching, Fresh Bake. We hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Obviously, we're going to keep doing our weekly Star Wars land reports, but this was pretty fun. We'll see you next time, guys. Fresh Baked. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!